In this video, we're going to talk about what spare parts to take on a short four-wheel drive trip. Number one thing you have to always think about four-wheel driving in a short trip is, I got to get home. So what could break that's going to stop me getting home? Number one is your tires. If your tires go flat or they pop off a bead, I always take a spare, generally two depending because it's just too hard to take them off, but I always take a spare tire repair kit, because if my spare doesn't need to come off and I can give it a quick repair, get me going. I always have my compressor with me, that way I just can pump a little bit of air with it and keep on motoring. A couple of little things with a Hilux, you need to remember what belts, what hoses. You might have a patrol or a cruiser, you might have a different sort of setup than mine. So I just take them just in case. Tie rod, generally on a short trip I wouldn't need it, but I keep it because it's small. Longer trips I've often taken a CV with me and it just takes up too much space. Now, this stuff is good for interrogations and repairs. And I've never had to interrogate anyone recently, but I've certainly had to repair my car a few times. And that's going to keep on panels, that way I don't come flying off on the highway, which is always a pain in the ass. A couple of D-shackles, because you'll lose them, they do rattle off, or your mate didn't bring one and he's a bit of a goose and you had to back him up. So always bring a D-shackle. A couple of fluids, a bit of a tip is what fluids you need. Like WD-40 gets things sort of going sometimes. I always take a bit of oil, but recently the brake fluid has been a problem for me. So always a spare. It's not really a part, but without this, I can't drive, I can't stop, I'm in trouble. And fuses. If you got just a basic fuse kit, like I haven't even had to use my basic fuse kit, but it's a good thing to have just to plug it in there when you get in trouble. Zip ties, just tying down stuff. I always keep these in the driver's seat. Bit of tape, so once you gaff someone up, you can tie them to a tree. But that's going to just get you out of trouble if an awning falls off or something. And the Bushmans. Now, I've gone forward driving and I thought it was awesome, and the midgies came. The Bushmans saved me. But number one thing, spare stubby cooler. Always take a spare one in case you lose one, because you don't share these with your mates, they're for you only. So look, that's a basic bit of a kit. Remember, what's going to get me home? So traction and fluids. You don't have tire pressure, you don't have a tire, you can't get home, and fluids. If you've got no brake fluid, or your oil's busted and leaking, you're in all sorts of trouble. So a bit of tape can get you home as well. So that's the basics, guys. If you're going on a bigger trip, that's a different event. You got to think very differently, but a quick trip to, just the beach or even to the bush, that's what I take basics. That's all you really need to take is what's going to get me home. So that's my tips for the day, guys. Get it down the tracks, have a good time.